Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. We're located in Frederick, Colorado. That's about a half an hour north of Denver, right off of I-25. Today we're going to take a look at one of the brand new trucks in the lineup. This is a 2020 Freightliner M2 106. The conversion is Summit Hauler. The rear axle ratio on this truck is 4.63. The empty weight is 12,800 pounds with a GVWR of 19,500. The stock number is 5N191491. As we start, we're going to take a look at the front of the truck. And the first thing you notice is the grille. This is a very unique design grille that you won't find on any of the competition that really dresses the truck up. The bumper is actually broken into three parts. There's two on the end, and then there's the middle section here. And the logic behind that is if we get a dent right here, as opposed compared to replacing the entire bumper, we just replace this section. Now, as we talk about the paint, this is obviously brown. This is a metallic brown. So if we can zoom in, you can see it has the gold specks in there, which also really dresses the truck up. The hood is a compressed fiberglass, so it's really thick. So not only does that stouter on the build, but also easier to fix if something does go wrong. Now let's take a look underneath the hood. That is the Cummins 8.9 liter engine. It is coupled with the Allison 3200 TRV transmission. This offers 350 horsepower and 1,150 foot-pounds of torque. Now, when they designed and built it, it's color coordinated, so stuff that you and I can check and look at is yellow. For example, here's where we would check the oil. If we can zoom in across, you can see where we would check the coolant level. As we come down here, this is for the power steering fluid right there. This is the fuel filter water separator. Now down here, if something happens and we leave lights on and the battery dies, as opposed to tearing into it underneath the back seat is where the batteries are, we can actually jump the truck right there. Now if we're under there working, checking things out, and a gust of wind comes up, that hood's gonna stop. It's not gonna squish us. So the only way to get that hood down is to manually force it down. Now we'll take a look at the tires. These are Michelin 255 ADR 22.5. The Summit Hauler conversion comes with an additional drum in there, and those are tire balancers. Basically, there's a bunch of little BBs in there with some oil. So when you take off and speed up and gain momentum, that balances the entire rotating mass. The tire, the hub, the wheel, all of that. So that's gonna do a couple of things for us. Not only is that gonna make it a smoother ride as we're going up and down the road, but that's actually gonna extend tire life up to 45%. As we continue to walk around, this is the block heater here to keep the engine warm during the winter months. It comes with two 50-gallon fuel tanks, one here and one on the other side. Now they are connected, so as it's sitting here, it will balance itself in terms of fuel. However, when you go to the pump, you're gonna have to fuel it independently. This is a 6-gallon DEF tank. Research has shown that we're getting about 400 miles for every 1 gallon of DEF. As we take a look inside the cab, you'll see a very soft leather. These seats are heated and cooled. So this is an air ride. So right here controls the air for our seat. This is for hot or cold seats. and it has a built-in lumbar system, so you can actually increase or decrease how much air you want in the back. It's built to start from the ground. There is a little pedal right here. So when you're sitting here and press this little pedal, that actually adjusts the steering wheel. As we take a look in the back seat, the first thing we notice is just how much room is in there. And that makes those long drives that much more comfortable. Now, as you can see, the back seat makes into a bed. But to put it back up is extremely simple. Just like that. This is actually a charger right here, a trickle charger for our batteries. So, for example, if at night we can get next to an electrical outlet and we run the lights inside and other things in the cab, that charger will actually assist the battery. As we start to take a look at the bed, Summit Hauler has the advantage in the amount of storage. We'll take a look at the front one. We'll see how much storage capacity is in there. Also, there's a hookup for air, so you can actually hook up an air hose right there. As we continue along the bed, this is all rhino lined up here. Another unique thing that Summit Hauler does is put extra weight on the back end. We actually put an additional 800 pounds on top of the axle. What that does is help with traction. So if we get in mud, that's going to help us get out. In addition, it's a safety thing. So if we're driving through rain, that'll help prevent us from hydroplaning. As we take a look at the rear of the truck, this is the Hensley hitch that's already installed. It's ready to go. As you'll notice, it has airbags underneath it. So that does a couple of things for us. It helps with the truck because it's not getting beat up by the trailer. In addition, it helps the trailer as well, so since it's going basically on air. The bed of the truck is aluminum. A lot of the competition uses steel. We choose to use aluminum to avoid rust. So 10 years down the road, it's going to look very similar to what it does today. The backup camera uses the Voyager system. So you can actually hook up to 3 more cameras right there. This is our plug for the lights for the trailer. Now I realize a lot of people in the market are taking a look at these, are also considering pickup trucks as well. So when we're making a large investment like what we're about to do, longevity is crucial and very important to us. So I brought a couple of things. These are the U-joints. This is the U-joint for this specific truck. As you know, that connects the driveline to the rear end. So if we look at the mass of that compared to this, this is from a GMC 3500, so basically a 1-ton. So if we compare these two, which one do we think is going to last longer? I mean, what are they going to look like after 150,000, 200,000 miles? Obviously, this is going to have more longevity to it than this. As we continue down, underneath this plate is the trailer hookup for just a traditional bumper pull trailer. As we walk around, they did build in a little step right here that assists us in getting up and in to hook up the trailer. We can take a quick look at the middle section on this side. All these storage components are lockable to protect your valuables once they're in there. Up here is our other 50-gallon fuel tank, which we already talked about. Now we'll take a look at the inside a little more. From this angle, we can get a really good shot of the DVD system. Again, we offer the most comfortable seats on the market. Now let's take a closer look at the inside. When we go to start the truck, turn the key about halfway. And you want to be somewhat patient and wait for those gauges to go all the way over and come all the way back. And the reason we need to do that is because if we get in a hurry and start it too quickly, there's a chance that the truck will kick us codes that simply don't exist. The brakes are air brakes. Right here is our brake. Right now we're in neutral and that is set. So we talked a little bit about comparing this truck to pickups. So another safety advantage is the air brakes. As you know, pickups come with hydraulic brakes. So there's a couple of advantages to the air. One, if we have a leak, there's an unlimited supply of air. So we can simply press more air through the brake lines. Compare that to a hydraulic leak. You will lose brake pressure all the way up to the point where you go to press the brakes and there's nothing there. Another safety advantage this has over trucks is the height. I mean, look how high we are. She's gonna just take a shot outside. And how that is safer is because we can see hazards both coming at us from the front and the sides as well. Compared to a pickup that's substantially lower, you're not going to be able to see that. So let's take a look at some of the things in here, and we'll start at the top, work our way down. Here's our backup camera. We talked about that a little bit, and you can actually hook up 4 more to it, and that'll show basically cross sections there, or you can go camera to camera to camera. A lot of guys like to hook another camera up in the trailer itself. Well, you can see what's going on right there. Over here is our air horn. As we continue to come down, this is a wraparound dash, so things are very easy to get to. The gauges themselves are pretty self-explanatory. I want to talk briefly about a couple of them. This is for the top one that says air is for the brakes. That's strictly for the brakes, so we can see how much air is going through them. The bottom one, also known as the secondary, that feeds the rest of the air. So that feeds the air coming into the cab right now, the air in our seats, the lumbar system, all of those things are fed off of that secondary one. Our cruise control is right here. Locks, these are for the windows. If we wanted to hook up another accessory, either inside or out, this is our option here, so we can benefit from something else if we wanted to put it on. Now this does have automatic transmission. It's very, very simple to drive. I realize some people just from looking at the truck are a little bit intimidated by the size and the mass of it, but it's very simple. You just reverse for neutral, D for drive, and away you go. This is the engine brake over here. Now that's not a traditional Jake brake, that's an engine brake. So if we set that on low, that affects 3 of the 6 cylinders. So not only does it stop exhaust from coming out, but it also restricts going in. Now if we go to high, that affects all 6 cylinders. So for example, if we're coming down the Rocky Mountains and we're on a pretty steep hill, we want to set that to high, that's going to slow us down right now. So obviously that's very safe for you. Plus that maintains wear and tear on your brakes. As we come over, this is our intermittent marker lights, so you can communicate with other trucks if you choose to as you're going up and down the road. This is the dump valve, so by pressing that releases air out of the back. Now you would use that, for example, when you go to hook up your trailer, that's going to lower that back so it's easier to hook it up. This locks your differential. This is manual regen. Now chances are we're never going to have to use that because a lot of my customers tow, coast to coast all over the place, and it'll just automatically do that for you. This is our mirror heaters, and this is our fans. So for example, right now we're pushing cool air into the back seat. As we come down, this is our trailer brake right here, and this is our climate control right here. So as you can see, a very well designed and safe vehicle for you. If you have any other questions about it or any of the vehicles on the lot, please feel free to call me. Again, my name is Larry Vickers. My cell phone number is 970-370-4067. The work line, 303-684-3404, or email me, larry.vickers@transwest.com. Thanks for tuning in today.